We have with us a management. We have the CEO of Cosmo Films who's with us in the studio today. Hi, Pankaj. Thanks so much for coming down. We're aware that you're going to be conducting a board meet. You're looking at raising money via QIP. Could you give us the quantum? By when can you raise this money? And also, what will you use this money for?
Yeah, right now it's an enabling resolution. And a board meeting is happening today for raising this fund.
Okay.
So the timeline could be obviously next year.
Okay.
And right now, basically, we are looking for certain new technologies. So we are intending to invest, in certain new technologies. So what we are intending to do is that, as far as our current cash flows are concerned, from our existing business, we want to use them more for repaying debt and expanding in that area. Sure. While if you talk about new capex and new technologies, we want to raise this fund for that.
All right. What's the quantum of money that you're looking to raise?
Approximately 100 crores.
Okay. Do you also have debt on your books?
Yeah, we do have a debt. We have actually repaid roughly 200 crores in last 2 years, and we intend to continuously, become a stronger company.
Okay. So what's the current debt, and how much of this 100 crore will you use for repayment of debt?
Yeah, right now, basically our current debt is roughly 392 crores as of last quarter end. Correct. And our intention is to become, first of all, a much stronger company fundamentally, as well as invest in newer technologies.
All right. But, I was just looking at the shareholding pattern, and you have been buying some shares from the market. So, if you raise this capital, then there'll be some dilution. Currently, promoter holding at around 43.5%. You've told us in the past that you believe that the share has been undervalued. But if you just pull up a wider time horizon of the stock, you'll see that it's run up a goodish bit in the last few months. So tell us, what will the promoter stake fall to?
Yeah, the promoter stake should roughly fall to maybe 37%. I was actually talking to our chairman, Mr. Jaipuria, that, why is he going for deletion? Yeah. And what he said is that, Pankaj, I would rather like to make the company more strong rather than worry about my small deletion in the shares. All right, but
then will you look to make it up and again take it back to around 40% or buying into the share, or do you believe that it's comfortable at around that 37%?
Yeah, see, he's himself quite optimistic the way we are progressing. And I'm sure the way we are progressing, he would like to, once again, at an appropriate time, increase his stake.
Okay. So with the new technology coming in, increased capex, what would the revenue profile of the company look like in FY17?
Yeah, as far as the current expansion is concerned, that would take us from roughly 1,800 crores right now to maybe 2,300 to 2,400 crores, depending on the raw material, because as you know, in our industry, raw material fluctuates quite a bit. Right. But based on the current raw material cost, we should be around 2,300, 2,400 crore based on the expansion that we have already announced. Now, depending on the new capex and when are we able to do it, so maybe 17, 18, we may not have the full impact. Maybe in 18, 19, or mid of 17, we have that. So we roughly intend to become 27, 2,800 crores in 2 years from now.
All right, one final question, Pankaj. You all have been gaining a lot because of the cyclical nature of your business. Crude prices have been declining, etc. But have you all taken any kind of measures that will help you all increase your margins? Given that crude prices have been falling, that's worked in your favor for the time being. Have you all streamlined any kind of operations?
See, one of the misnomers about our industry is actually that oil prices are helping us. Correct. The fact of the matter is that oil prices play actually a negative role for us, given the fact that when the prices are falling down, effectively what happens is all our customers want to defer their purchases. The market wants a price reduction even before the price reduction has happened for us. Correct. So literally speaking, in the short term, oil prices do not help us much. Obviously, in the long term, it does help to, actually expand the volumes for us, because the same customer has a similar kind of a cash flow, and it also does reduce the working capital for us. So it definitely makes the balance sheet healthier from a working capital perspective, but from a margin perspective, oil really do not play that big a role. Actually, we have done a lot of improvements in our fundamentals, and if you would see that our EBITDA levels, which are 100 to 126 crores in last 2-3 years, have, based on, even if you extrapolate this year numbers, we should be roughly 200, 210 crores. So what we have done is actually a series of measures that we have actually done there. Some of the critical ones being, we have actually been able to improve our throughput through improving some of our lines. Okay. We've been able to run them faster. We have been able to get a higher output, out of that. Second important thing we have been able to do is also reduce our power cost quite substantially. Correct. So I think the annualized impact is roughly to the extent of maybe 25 crores. So some of the lines which had electrical heating and all of those, we have actually been able to, significantly enhance the lines. Other thing actually which we got out of the budget is, that there's a MEIS benefit on our SEZ plant. That itself has an incremental impact of 8 to 10 crores.
All right.
The other important thing was like, US, which was making quite a bit of losses. We actually turned around that, and that is also, having an annualized impact of $3.5 to $4 million. Another critical thing that actually we were analyzing in last quarter, which actually should start helping us from this quarter, is SEZ taxation. So SEZ until last year, given the additional depreciation and investment allowance, did not get the tax benefits, while from this year it will get income tax exemption. So that is another thing that you might see from quarter 3 onwards.
All right.